Da, da, da. There we go. We're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. As you can tell, as you can probably hear, getting over being sick. I have a little bit of a cold. And honestly, guys, it just took me out. We're going on week 2 now. It just took me out. And my brain was so there, but my body was trying to pull me back. So I've taken a little bit of a break, but I've used this space, I've used this time to really dive into mental creativity and planning and really just supporting my clients, supporting my community through my business, all those things. I know a lot of you have asked me about my business. We'll get into that in another video. But I wanted to share with you about burnout. Some of you may be feeling burnout before you've even legitimately gotten a consistent schedule on YouTube, or you're feeling burnout in other areas of your life. Many of us, I would say almost everyone, at least at one time in their life, has experienced legit burnout where you just feel exhausted. You don't want to do the thing anymore. You just want to be done. And the reason I'm sharing this with you, by the way, I my hair is crazy. I didn't put any makeup on because I went to the beach on Monday, and guys, I got sunburned, so I'm trying to take care of my skin and not put anything too crazy on it. So I'm just sharing audio with you because this is how it's just going to be chill. So for any of you who are listening to this after it's live, just grab a cup of coffee, go paint something or create something as you're listening to this, because this is going to be really, really valuable to you. It's going to be really important, and it's going to inspire you to create intention and create. What I mean by this, we'll dive into this. This audio is going to support you in creating tools and patterns and attitudes into your life to create what you want to create. So burnout is something that happens when we are just pushing and pushing and pushing. There's a lot of different ways that looks. And honestly, we can have a lot of judgment around what is burnout to somebody else and what is burnout to us, because in the United States especially, but really just in the world in general, what I find when I talk to other people all around the world is that we've got this crazy disease around busyness being this medal of honor. Busyness is this thing that we do, and every time we say it, it's this badge of value. It's a part of our identity. It's a part of why we feel good about ourselves. And yet busyness, there's no value, there's no grit, there's no substance in busyness. It's just referring to you not being able to be in control of your schedule. And that's kind of just so you know, I am speaking to myself right now because I have a serious thing around being busy, right? Creating this chaos around me. And there's a high that we experience when we're busy, and then there's a low, and the low is burnout. And what I have learned right now, I am finishing up some very extensive, very incredibly life-changing training, leadership training. And if you ever want to talk to me about that, or that's something that you're thinking about having in your life, totally hit me up, comment down below, let me know that you want to, have a conversation. I will make it happen. But the cool part is, I'm taking this training and it's opening my mind to how I have these patterns in my life that sabotage. I have these patterns in my life that oftentimes tell me I'm busy, I'm good, I'm busy, I'm fine, and then I crash. And this happens normally every 3 weeks. And then I'll feel like I don't want to do it anymore. And then I'll move on to something else. There's no discipline when that happens. There's nothing set in place. In the past, there hasn't been anything set in place. As a creator, as an entrepreneur, there hasn't been anything set in place to re-inspire me into why I'm doing this in the first place. So let's take YouTube, for example, because I'm sure a lot of you have been like, Katie, where have you been? You've been so inconsistent. And just so you know, like one of the reasons I started YouTube was I wanted to do it for myself. I'd helped a lot of people create YouTube channels, but I wanted to create it for myself. And then when I started my business, I was like, oh my goodness, I want to experience what my clients are experiencing. I want to really get into being able to support them and know what it's like. And so I'm constantly learning and applying the exact same things that my clients are working through. I'm applying that support to myself as well. And one of the things that I have been working towards is creating blocks of time that are dedicated to specific areas. So like admin work, you guys don't see this a ton because this is in my business, like emails going out, support going out, scheduling out time where I am sending emails, where I'm receiving emails and like answering them, when I am creating and planning content. And when I block time out, I know that's exactly what I'm doing in those times. And I make it fun. Like I go on a coffee date with myself. I do it twice a week. And I have like 2.5 hours, anywhere between an hour and 2.5 hours of time twice a week that I spend on admin work because it's very, very important to have that foundation. All of that being said, when you're creating content, you've got to have systems in place. You've got to know what you're doing when. And this doesn't mean your life needs to be this ridiculous schedule where you're doing all these things at like, it is 1 minute past and I am late for this thing that I've blocked time for. Like, hold your horses. This is about freedom, right? But part of freedom, and I know I've shared about this before, part of freedom is discipline. Like having the discipline to know exactly what needs to get done when, doing it, and then having the freedom to do whatever you want to do after that. So I know, like when I have weeks where I'm literally just saying, "This is what I'm creating today. This is what I'm committed to today," and I create it. Those are the days when I'm like, I feel so free and happy and joyful, and this is amazing. So what I found with consistency is it's so much more about inspiration. Am I inspired by the things I'm doing? Because guess what? We make time for the things we love. So for me, I love copy. Copy is basically any text that you write in your business for anything. So copy is my YouTube descriptions, my tags, my titles, any of the research I do beforehand on content. Copy is my emails that I send out. I send out a lot of emails to my people because I get to be in direct communication and contact and connection with them. And so they get me like a lot of hours a week. My email list not only gets like everything first, they get all the information first, they get all of the news first, they get all the support first, they get opportunities to coach with me for free on Fridays. Like I have all the stuff that's happening in my community. And if you want to be a part of that, totally hit the link in the description down below that says something like join my email list or my community or whatever it says. I should actually remember what it says. That's the space I love. I love, like, guys, don't get me wrong. I love all of you here on YouTube, but the people who are invested in themselves that I see and I hear are the people that are on my list because they're directly speaking and raising their hand regularly and giving me feedback about what they want and what they need and what is working and what isn't working. So I get direct feedback from them about what exactly they want and what I can serve them that benefits them. Where on YouTube, one of the amazing parts is, and guys, sorry, I'm sick, so I'm sort of plugged up at times. One of the incredible things is we're building this platform to build other spaces where we have like these levels of connection with our people, right? And so as you build out those levels of connection, you constantly have to check in with yourself, right? Am I inspired by this? This has been a question I've been asking myself for the last couple of months because I've been feeling like YouTube has been work. And that is a mental thermometer for me. Like that is a thermometer that's saying, okay, this really, like, this isn't inspiring you anymore. Like you get to be consistent. It's not inspiring you. So create content that you're inspired by, that you want to create consistently. And I've seen this, like, this totally works, guys. This is not like some type of weird, anyway, we'll elaborate on that later. This is like it's like 7:20 p.m. for me right now. So I'm like winding down, guys. You get me at the end of the day. I'm sorry. But here's what I want to land with you guys. Like here's how I want to support you guys. Ask yourself an honest question. Is the content you're creating or the life you're living inspiring you? Because if it's not inspiring you, then you're not inspiring anyone else. So what I've noticed is when I'm in the mechanics of my channel, when I'm in the strategy of my channel, I'm not getting geeked and inspired. And if I'm not inspired, then I'm not inspiring you guys. So I have like this, I've done like this whole content map for the next few months. So I know, um, I basically know exactly what kind of content I'm creating moving forward. And I'm so excited to launch it next week. And I've got like some really fun content coming and some very, very special things that I want to share with you guys. And it's going to feel way more chill and relaxed and intimate and connected. And that inspires me. Like it inspires me to death to create the content that I'm creating for you guys. Um, and that's what we're looking for, right? Like you get to communicate with your community about what is shifting, what's changing, but you get to like this is a space where we are learning and growing. And then when we are creating content that is like bringing out the best of us, that is what we're meant to create. And honestly, that's what our communities want to hear. Like they don't want to hear a bunch of dry stats if that's how we're presenting it. There are some people who have tech channels who share in such an inspiring, motivating, connected way pieces of content that would bore me to death to create. That means every single one of you who are listening, if you're wanting to build a community online, you 100% have what it takes to start. And you also have what it takes to get education, knowledge, experience, competency to build it, right? Like we don't have everything we need right at this moment, but we have everything we need to find it and create it and learn it and build it. And so what I want you to hear from me is that this is not a linear journey. This is zigzag. This is like, guys, this is like the stock market. It's like up and down and over and through and like weird, blah, this is up and down, and we're going to go through that door and then we're going to come out and then we're going to go through it again, maybe 5 months later and try it again and maybe try it differently. Like this is the journey we're going on. And the more we try, the more clarity we get. So you get to check in with yourself. You get to check in with yourself and ask yourself this question. Are you inspired by what you're creating? Because if you're not inspired, then you're going to create burnout because it's just going to become work. And so what we do about it, what we're creating is we're checking in with ourselves and asking ourselves, am I inspired? And if I'm not inspired, then I get to create something that does inspire me. Maybe that means going and checking in with my clients. Guys, just so you know, if I'm ever in a lull, I go hang out with my people in my email group and my Facebook group. I go check in with them. I go inspire them. I go hear from them. And then I'm like fired up. I'm like ready to go. So put systems in your life that inspire you. Put systems in your life that actually motivate you to continue, to keep going. And that's how you're going to create the consistency in your life. All right, guys, this is just a little blurb from me as a preparation for next week because the next few months of content, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm shifting a little bit more into, well, I'm not going to tell you. It's going to be a surprise. But I promise you, it's bringing out the best of me. It's bringing out the things that are giving and generous and valuable and inspiring and inspired and connected to you guys. So that's what we're creating. All right, you guys, I love you all very much. And I'm sorry I haven't been around and I'm getting to build systems in my life right now. This is something that's really just coming up for me. That's why I want to share it. I love you all, and I will see you very soon with some absolutely fun, amazing, incredible content that I'm really excited to share with you. All right, you guys. Bye.